Our stories are brilliant. We are resilient. Our stories are brilliant. We are resilient.
Welcome to the Courage Checklist. I'm your host, Jennifer Chambers. Courage. We all want it. What are the things in our lives that we need courage to tackle? How do you find the guts to get the glory? How do you do the things you've always really wanted to do or be? You make the list. You check it off. It sounds simple, but actually doing the hard stuff, the soul-deep stuff, it's not always easy. Find inspiration, ideas, and companions here who also keep trying no matter what. Let's talk about what's on our lists, from giant dream to tiny wish. We share stories of triumph, struggle, joy, and yes, failure, but we keep going together. What's on your list? Hello, and welcome to the Courage Checklist. Today we're going to talk about a work-life balance, how to balance courage and career. This is something I think about often, and I actually just took a class where we talked about that quite a bit. So today we're going to discuss the importance of having a work-life balance to help maintain your overall well-being. And then we're going to do that, we're going to talk about having courage to prioritize self-care, some strategies for effective time management, and nurturing your courage in career choices. Thanks so much for joining us today. Our first topic is the courage to prioritize self-care. Self-care, it's very loaded, isn't it? The whole idea of self-care. It's very bougie, I guess, to have the time and the means and the energy to promote your own self-care. But it's actually so important to put yourself first in order to have the energy and balance that you want in your life. I find that I often, if I neglect my own self-care, it makes me more liable to be sick. If I forget to exercise for a certain amount of time, I just feel gross and I don't like that. I just like to do the things that make me feel better, and that's self-care, right? It's not self-indulgent is different than self-care. So to really prioritize self-care, all of the research I have done talks about taking actionable steps to help prioritize this kind of self-care in your life. One thing that I did was think about in my journaling processes what kinds of things I really needed in my life to feel good each day. So what are your 3 things? It can be pretty illuminating to write a list of the things that you like and the things that if your day ended without them, it wouldn't be the worst thing, but you would go to bed feeling satisfied. So for me, it's music, specifically playing music or creating it, and writing, of course, and exercise. I just like to be outside. I like to feel the sun on my face. I just really love it. It feels great to breathe the fresh air. And meditating is great for me too. Yoga is another one of those things. But my non-negotiables are writing and music and exercise. Those are the things that feel great for me. So I encourage you to write your own list and think about the things that work for you. Another really great way to prioritize your own self-care is to create a self-care plan and kind of write it down. Put it on your Google Calendar or whatever you use for your calendar and scheduling things into your life. So include activities that nurture your physical being. If you want to take a walk, make sure you schedule time for that. Emotional and your mental well-being too. Take time for those things. I'll have a link to a free self-care plan worksheet that can kind of help you. For me, it really helps so much to have things written down. So this has suggestions for things you can do each day and the amount of time you can do them for. Just suggestions, of course. It's whatever works for you. You know, you might think about making sure that you have time to read a book or an article that interests you to make you feel like you do something besides work. You could make sure that you make a plan to meet with friends for coffee or dinner, or make a plan to call someone in your family to chat. You could have a technology break time that only has to be like an hour, but spending time doing something you enjoy that doesn't involve screens. For me, that's playing music. I like to play music a lot, and I haven't been doing it, and I really miss it. But I know that my life feels so much better when I do it. Another idea is, taking time to take a bath or do some stretching, things like that make you physically feel good. Or going for a walk, of course, or a run or a bike ride, something that works for you. So I really encourage you to write down a self-care plan that looks like it could work for you every day. One of the second thoughts about work-life balance is thinking about your strategies for managing your time effectively. Explore the time management techniques that you find that help you balance your work and your personal life. For me, it helps to start each day with a plan. Like I said, I like to write things down, but actually I use it on my phone or my tablet more often. I like to have something I can check off, something physical, and something visual as well, something that I can see, that, I don't know, it's just like a little self-congratulatory, yes, I did it, kind of thing. Or you can do all kinds of stuff. Do you want to use Slack to help with your business tasks? Or are you a list builder? Just think about different techniques that might work for you. Then think about setting boundaries for yourself and managing your workload to prevent burnout. You can think about doing stuff like dividing your big tasks into smaller ones. For me, it's all about the rewards. A 5-minute break for a glass of water or to make some tea is so powerful. Or having a stretch. It's really important. And that's what helps me prevent burnout. Knowing that I have something to look forward to. Often I'll do that, once an hour. For me, that works well. Just a few minutes. Something like that. And then setting boundaries, trying to manage and know the amount of work that you can handle in one period of time and want to handle. What's more? And then think about the way that you delegate things for yourself. How about batching tasks? If you set aside an amount of time for doing your emails, for instance, you can get as many as you can get done in 25 minutes. That's a lot of time for emails, but whatever works. And then stop. You can do it again later, but you're getting all the different kinds of things done within the email heading. And then stop. Or do household tasks for a focused 15 minutes at a time. If you're cleaning, do laundry for 15 minutes. Do a kitchen task for 15 minutes at one time. And then it's not like you're multitasking, but you're focused on the monotask. All of any kind of chore or thing that you're doing, whether it's a, corporate tasks or a home-based task, you can always do another round of time, but doing it in a smaller, more focused time really can help you laser your energy in and get more done and feel better about it. Or, here's an idea. Think about using Calendly or a different kind of scheduling app to schedule your time so it's all blocked out. A bonus there with those programs is that you get reminders at set times too. So one thought is to think about when you're using your time effectively, when you're doing your journaling, think about how that worked for you. You know, at the end of the week, maybe see if it worked for you to kind of manage yourself a little bit better, a little bit easier. Did things work harder or easier, or did you create a new task for yourself that was really great and helped you manage things very well? It's nice to reflect on that. The third thing I wanted to talk about is something that I also have been working on in the class I just took. It was with Jen Liss, and I'll link it. I'll link her unicorn program in the show notes. I very much recommend that. But we talked about nurturing your courage as far as your career choices go. And I'll apologize in advance. I have a cat that's on my lap and purring very loudly, so hopefully she doesn't come through. I can't really stop her. So when we're talking about courage and career choices, it's so important to align your career choice with your personal values and your passions. I think about this, and like I say, I'm kind of visual, so the 3-ring circus idea is fun to do here. And this is similar to other exercises you've probably seen, but you draw 3 circles on a sheet, line them up with 2 on the bottom and 1 on the top, kind of like a capital letter A that doesn't have the bar in the middle. In the first circle, write down the things you currently do in your job, whether they're things that you love or things that you don't love. Write down all of those tasks you do, things that you enjoy, things that you, like I say, things you don't like, just for a few minutes. I like to set a timer and do it for like 2 or 3 minutes at a time. And then in the second circle, I want you to write down the things that you would like to do in your dream job. Break those things down into tasks as well. Small ones, big ones. And then for your third part, highlight the things in both circles that you could see yourself really loving to do on a daily basis. There's got to be something about your current job that you do like, or certain tasks that you enjoy. So break them all down, and then when you're thinking about the things that you love doing, focus on the feelings that those things make you do. Obviously, doing copying or things like that might not make you feel great, but the result of those might. But all of those things, the things that make you feel good to do, write them all down in the third circle. And it sounds very simple, but find a way to do more of those things. A complete, career overhaul might not be possible right now, of course. For most people, it's not. But it takes such courage to even think about making changes and career choices and changes if you need to. It's interesting because I've found that you can find different ways to do things in the job that you currently have once you kind of notice how and why you like or dislike to do them. Some things you just can't change, but having the courage to change the things that you can is really important. There's great examples all over about people who have changed their careers and made a huge success of themselves and felt wonderful about it. I have just a couple to share. My teacher, Kathy Heller, she changed her career and found incredible success. She started out moving to Los Angeles to be a songwriter, but she worked at a car dealership until she got her big break. She shopped around her songs by calling and asking all of the studios around town what kinds of songs they needed, and she found success by writing to that. She ended up having songs in huge TV shows, and then from there, she decided to teach a songwriting class in her living room that ended up being very, very successful. She basically created the jobs that she wanted. From there, she decided she wanted to start a podcast, and she did. And then by tapping into her curiosity about people and about helping them find their dream careers, her first show was called Do Quit Your Day Job. Sorry about that. But by by tapping into her curiosity and her love for people and helping them. Two of her things that she recognizes her big strengths. Her show, The Cathy Heller Podcast, is consistently one of the most popular podcasts out there. Another person that I really like to follow in the social media universe is, of course, Gary Vee. And if you don't know about Gary Vee or Cathy, I very much recommend that you look them up. Gary Vee is a huge businessman and an inspirational internet personality. He started out working for his dad's liquor store. When he was 3, his family had immigrated from Belarus to New York when he was quite young, as I say. And then he went to school in New York, and after college, he took over his family's store, which was called Shoppers Discount Liquors at the time. He decided to take it a different direction. He renamed it the Wine Library, and he put the business online. He turned the store into a $60 million a year business. Then Gary created VaynerMedia, which is a digital advertising agency. And from there, he created VaynerX, a media and technology company, and then a social media agency with his brother. And he launched his own line of NFTs. He spends lots and lots of time online being helpful to other people and in person and with his podcast, inspiring other people to follow their own career dreams and take risks. He's incredible to watch. One of the really fun things that he has done is decide to go all in on things that he loves. And he likes to do things like garage sailing and find collectibles and resell those. And it's really great to see somebody who is uber successful do the things that they love and find fulfillment. So I very much encourage you to reflect on your current career path and identify aspects you want to change or improve. And then, as you think about this, set one actionable goal to move toward a more fulfilling career. So to recap, we talked all about the work-life balance today, balancing your courage and your career. We talked about having the courage to prioritize self-care, different strategies for effective time management, and ways to nurture your courage in career choices. I think these are so important. I mean, we all want a better work-life balance, and we all want to nurture our own career choices, but that does take a lot of courage. It's not always comfortable to think about these things that we actually want and how to get there. But thinking about it in this way can make you so much happier in your life and more fulfilled in your work. I'm going to link some resources on the podcast website. Like I say, I'm going to link Jen Liss's class that I just took. I'm going to link Cathy Heller and Gary Vee, and all three of these people have their own podcasts as well that you can listen to. I encourage you to listen to those. And there's going to be a download of a sample self-care plan worksheet that you can fill out and do for yourself. You may not actually print it out, but I really encourage you to put something like that on your phone. Definitely schedule the time for yourself. You only need to take 15 to 30 minutes a day to do things to prioritize your own self-care. And you're important and you're worth it. And I really very much appreciate you guys listening. It's always so wonderful to interact with you. We have some more Halloween episodes coming up this month. We have some interviews, a couple of really great paranormal things coming up. So as always, like I say, thanks for listening. And the best way to help the show is to rate and review. Talk to you soon.
Sometimes we have to start over. Sometimes we have to fight back. Sometimes it's all too